welcome into Cross My Heart Ministry. I'm Laura McFarland. Well, it's almost November, and of course, regular subscribers know that's time to release our 2 free monthly downloads. And so one of those that I want to share today is the Do It list. This is birthed from all those years of me raising a family and trying to figure out how to get it all done. And so about the time I did that, they were all grown and out the door. So this is my attempt to help you skip up that learning curve and help you have an easy peasy one-page plan to make it all happen. Things are divided up into daily, weekly, and monthly tasks. And so don't let it overwhelm you. You can line off anything that just doesn't apply to you or doesn't work in your system. There are blank lines in each, so you can add your own things that you want to include. But I hope this might be a blessing. If you struggle like I did to figure out how to get it all managed and how to get it all together, and you just don't want to have one full day devoted every week to cleaning or laundry or what have you, this is just a way to do a little bit each day and get on to the more important stuff, because I've always said that having a clean house is not the end all. You need to get that stuff done so you can lean into the more important things of loving God and loving others. So each month when we release this, I usually try to pick one item on the list and sort of demonstrate what that could look like. And so some months I'll clean out a drawer or organize a closet. And recently it seems like I've been doing a lot of cooking videos and y'all seem to like those. So here we go again. So this one, what I'm going to share today, actually grabs 2 items off the checklist. And if you look under the Do It list this week, there is an item that says plan next week's meals. And over on the Do It list for this month, there is one that says clean out the fridge. And so in my fridge, I often have these little small containers of cottage cheese. They come from Braums. So this recipe is really inspired by Braums. They have a salad in the summer that is absolutely delicious. It's a grilled chicken salad with pineapple and strawberries and blueberries. I love that salad, and it's very affordable. So sometimes when I have to meet a gal that just wants to visit or talk or pick my brain about something, we'll go to Braums because it's affordable and it's fast and it's healthy and it's delicious. The chicken is grilled, but it also comes with this little tub of cottage cheese. Now, I'm not really a cottage cheese fan, and if I'm going to eat cottage cheese, I'm probably not going to want the regular. In fact, I'm going to make a mental note that next time I'm in there or ordering that salad, I'm going to ask if I could get a low-fat cottage cheese option. But it's a little container of 8 ounces. And being the frugal woman that I am, I can never just throw it away. So I always bring it home and stick it in my fridge and think, oh, I'll find somebody to give that to, or I'll ask a friend if they want it. And then I forget. And there it sits on my counter. And so often it makes its way from Braums to the refrigerator and then to the recycle or to the trash bin when I realize, I've let it expire. So this time when I was cleaning out my fridge and I realized it's still good, I just decided to figure out a way to use the cottage cheese. So this recipe is inspired by my little Braums container of cottage cheese. Now, I decided to make a recipe that only uses this much. So this is just the 8-ounce container. If you want to make this for your family, you can double this recipe. So I pared this down so that it makes a serving size that really works well for Kevin and me. I went ahead and did one, and you can see this here. It just browned up nicely. And I love these little Pyrex containers because you just put the lid on, and I can stick that in the freezer. I have found the little breakfast casserole like this freezes beautifully. It even would make a nice meal to take to a friend. Sometimes when someone has a surgery or there's been a death in their family, they get lots of lasagna and chicken casseroles, and it might be nice just to take them something for breakfast. You could put some fruit or biscuits or some croissants or muffins, something like that. Pair that with this, and it might be nice to have breakfast delivered instead of a dinner. And of course, we are not opposed to eating breakfast at our house for dinner anyway. So sometimes I'll do that and maybe do a salad with an egg casserole. So that's what this looks like when it's all said and done, but I'm going to demonstrate how to make it. And if you would like to, again, put it in a larger casserole dish, you can just double up on the recipe. We've got the holidays coming, and so I thought this is a great time to share something like this. You may be having guests in for Thanksgiving weekend. You may be needing to take a casserole to brunch at church. A lot of times our small groups will have a breakfast get together or your ladies' Bible study. And of course, there's always a need, as I said, to tote a casserole to someone who's had surgery or there's been a funeral or something like that. So this is a great meal to do just that. So let me show you how quick and easy it is for this recipe to go together. I'm calling it the Cheesy Egg Breakfast Casserole. You can download your copy also in the notes below and print out your very own PDF so you'll have this recipe available to you. So first thing is I'm going to preheat the oven. It bakes at 375 and only 30 minutes. Now you can also tailor this recipe, but I'm doing pretty plain Janey here. I'm just going to do cheese and eggs and call it good. But if you've got some veggies at your house, if you want to dice up some peppers and onions, even tomatoes, throw those in. If you've got some breakfast meats and you want to go ahead and cook up some bacon or some sausage and crumble that and put it in, you can do that as well. For me today, this is all I had in the fridge, so this is all I'm doing. So first thing, 5 eggs. Just going to crack these into my little bowl here and hope I don't get any shells that I've got to fish out. I'm going to give those a good whip to kind of beat them a little bit. Oh, that one is that shell is really tough. Okay, got it out. But also got a little bit of a shell in there, and it's a big one. I didn't get my spoon. I was overconfident, I guess, that I would not need it, but there, I got that out. One more egg, and there we go. So 5 eggs. I'm going to beat these up, whisk them together really well. The next ingredient is 1/4 cup of butter melted. So 1/4 cup is half a stick. I have already melted that butter, so it's good to go here. Let it cool just a little bit. So half a stick of butter. Next comes the inspiration for the whole recipe, my Braums cottage cheese. And I think this just gives us a really nice texture. If you've never put cottage cheese in some sort of a quiche or a breakfast casserole, I think you're really going to be intrigued by what the cottage cheese does for this recipe. I thought about maybe blending the cottage cheese a little bit first, but just decided I wanted to make it quick and easy, and I didn't, after I made it, I didn't think that it needed to be blended. I loved the texture, I loved the taste. It worked out really well. Sometimes I've whipped in a little bit of Greek yogurt to add that sort of a creamier texture when I've made baked eggs. And that's also an option if you really want to make it low fat and low cal, just to use the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. Okay, so eggs, butter, cottage cheese, a cup of cheese. Now I had some cheddar on hand, so that's what I've shredded and used, but you can use any kind of cheese. Pepper jack, mozzarella, Swiss, whatever you have that you want to use, just use that. This is a clean out the fridge inspired sort of video, so you just use whatever you have. Let me switch to my wooden spoon here. So there's the cheese. Then at this point you can also add your chopped veggies or meat if you're going to include any of that. That's pretty much it for the basic thing. I sort of made up this recipe from consulting several that I found online, and a couple of them recommended putting in just a little bit of flour. I think it just helps with making it rise up and just give it an interesting look and texture. So it's just 2 tablespoons of flour. So I'm going to whip that in. Another tablespoon, and then also a half a teaspoon of baking powder. Aren't you amazed at how quick this goes together? Pretty amazing. And so you could probably also, if you've got guests, do it the night before, have it all ready to go, but it goes together so quick, you could just get it done that morning. Get it all whipped together and put it in and bake it. And you've got a nice hot breakfast for your guests or your family to smell as they wake up that morning. This only bakes for 30 minutes, so it's also ready pretty quickly. So that's all there. Now you can add seasoned salt and pepper just to taste, whatever is your preference. You've heard me probably mention this before. I've been using this Kinder's called the Blend. I get it at Sam's. It has salt and pepper and also some garlic in it. But if you don't care for garlic, you can just use whatever salt, maybe some kosher salt or some pepper, whatever you like. And if you like it a little spicier, there's some cayenne in there. I love the pepper just because you get to see the pepper flakes and it just makes it look a little pretty as well. So I've got this all mixed together. I'm going to go ahead and spray. I've got 2 of these nice containers with the lids. So I'm going to go ahead and spray. This one is almost gone, so yep, it's gone. I thought I might be able to get a little more out of it, so I put my replacement out as well. Here we go. Don't want my cheesy egg sticking to my container. And that is it. I'm just going to pour this in here, and hopefully my oven is going to be preheated soon, because you know when your oven takes longer to preheat than it takes to put your recipe together, it's a pretty fast one. Move this out of the way so you can see some of what the batter kind of looks like. You see the little chunks of cottage cheese in there, but they're going to bake up nice, give us a really nice texture. Get every little morsel out. Scrape my bowl clean. Why wash something yummy down the drain, right? So here we go. Down to the last drop. And there you have it. This is what it looks like, ready to go. My oven is not quite preheated, but I've got one all ready to let you see. I'm going to come over a little closer to the camera so you can see what this looks like. And here you go. That's my cheesy egg breakfast casserole. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a note below and let me know what is your favorite thing to make for breakfast when you have company. Have a blessed November and a happy Thanksgiving. For Cross My Heart Ministry, I'm Laura McFarland.